All right, this is part 2 of Justin and Hailey Bieber are illegally surveilling me and live streaming it to the whole world. And I'm going to talk about how swag is about me. Please go watch part 1 if you have not already watched it. It is very, very important to the rest of the story. So like I said in my last TikTok, I found out that I was being illegally surveilled and that it was being live streamed to the entire world the night before the first album Swag was released. And I'm going to go through some references just to show you that not only is it about me, but he's been making fun of me and the fact that he's been surveilling me throughout this whole entire album process. So I'll start with the album promo. So he is stationed at a barn and I live in Wisconsin, and there's a couch in the middle of the barn and I have a massive couch and there are roses on the couch, and the rose is a symbol for Britney and also the industry. And that is why also I believe that he has a song called Daisies, which I'll talk about later. There's also this picture where he's covering up the rose couch, which I find very messed up. And there's also this photo, which is also super messed up, where he is basically, I'm the child, and he is looking directly at the camera because the child is faced away to him, because he has been distracting me this whole entire time. I'm just gonna go over some of the references that are really, really direct and also really, really hurt me. And I'm gonna start with Daisies. So Daisies, like I said, the rose is a symbol for Britney in the music industry because there are a lot of layers to the industry and to Britney's story and what actually happened to her. And I think that he wrote Daisies because he, in my opinion, is an op to Britney. The song Go Baby, he says, she keeps him talking, it's comedy, just block it out. That is because I believe that they are directly tied to these content creators and this right-wing propaganda machine. Now the song Butterflies, the audio at the beginning of that song is from the video of him yelling at the paparazzi that I tagged him in. The song Way It Is, I find very offensive because he's basically just saying, this is just the way it is and no need to complicate it, which I will never settle for because what is being done to Britney and to Palestine is not okay. Now the song Sweet Spot, he has this thing where he likes to make fun of my weight, and this is in that song where he is talking about the surveillance and he's making fun of the fact that I was eating a push pop in bed, and that is the sticky in the sheets, whatever the lyrics are, and I was eating Pop-Tarts too, so he's just making fun of the fact that I was eating treats in bed. That's enough from the first album. Let's talk about Swag 2. So the first song, Speed Demon, he's making fun of the fact that I take Adderall, and I have for half my life. And he's also saying at the beginning of the song that he's not stalling me, when yes, he is. That's been the whole point, is stalling me from talking about Britney's story and everything else I've been saying. And he also said that he has no reason to call me, and that's because I sent him my phone number a few months ago when I was still in the middle of all of this. The song I Think You're Special, he's basically calling me autistic, I believe, because it took me quite some time to realize that he was distracting me this entire time. The song Mother and You, probably the most offensive of all time because my mother is dead, and he is basically saying that I am like my mother, even though you have no idea who my mom is, and I just take so much offense to that. The song Bad Honey, I have a honey tattoo, and he says honey throughout both of the albums. The song Lying, where the lyrics, I wasn't lying that when I said that I loved you, and the song title is Lying because he has been lying this entire time. And the song Story of God, or whatever it is, it's messed up is what it is. He references the fact that he and everyone else that's been watching my surveillance saw me naked, vulnerable, and exposed. He says that. And that is because they all saw me naked, unbeknownst to me at the time, by the way. So after all of this, after them watching me, seeing me naked unknowingly, making fun of me, threatening my cat, I believe that they altered a product I had bought from Amazon because all of my hair has fallen out these past few weeks, and I believe it's because they altered it and put something in it. They have made up baseless lies and rumors about me to attempt to blackmail me. So by the way, if there's a smear campaign magically after this, that is why, and don't believe it. They have entirely hacked my phone. Every app, every website I go to, all the notifications I get have been entirely curated to what they want to put in front of my face. I had started a job that I had to quit because, again, half of the world has been watching my surveillance, so people were showing up and I did not feel safe. And so I'm not able to get a job because of this. There's been times where I've contemplated taking my own life just because of how much they have absolutely mortified me and sort of ruined my life. All of these ultimately are mob tactics to belittle and ultimately try to silence me from coming forward about what I know from my Reddit page for Britney. So here's what I think ultimately. I think that Hailey and Justin are fascists, in my opinion. I think that they act in a fascist way, and I think that they're part of the right-wing propaganda machine that I was talking about earlier. At least they benefit from it, and at most they are directly tied to it. And they are definitely in the business of suppressing what actually happened to Britney Spears. And that is why they set me up. Because they benefit from the very system that I discovered from my Reddit page that I believe needs to change in the entertainment industry, in our country, and in our media. I did not realize that getting distracted by Justin would completely derail this whole entire group project, but that is the case because they are not on the side of Britney. In fact, they are the enemy, in my opinion. And I should have never trusted them because they are tied to the Kardashians. And the Kardashians' godfather is Irving Azoff, who is the former CEO of Live Nation and Ticketmaster, who also has his own history of conservatorships and is the mentor to Lou Taylor, who is Britney's former business manager, who, in my opinion, trafficked her. So I should have never trusted this side of the group project, and I'm sorry to Britney for getting distracted, and I am entirely ashamed of myself. What happened to Britney Spears would turn the entire industry on its head. I believe that she was trafficked, I believe it was the biggest bank heist in history, and I believe that they tried to kill her, and that is why there is an incredible effort to suppress her story, on top of what goes on in the media, what goes on in the industry, and what that does to the rest of our country and the world. So all this to say, I want to sue Justin and Hailey Bieber for setting me up, illegally surveilling me and live streaming it to the whole world, and traumatizing me from this experience. And I want an apology. And I want justice for Britney Spears. I want to continue advocating for a more fair sports and entertainment industry because I believe there's a lot of weird stuff going on and it's very unequal as it stands. And there's only positive that can come from a more fair industry because, like I said, it reflects the rest of culture. But like I said, this relates to issues in our country and Palestine and how we've all been failed by American media and how they shove things in our face to distract us every single day. And they rage bait us by pitting us against each other, and they suppress really important stories like Britney trying to get a trial and the genocide. And so we need to do a media blackout. We need to tell the people in power we are not stupid and we are done being distracted, and we want change immediately. And if that means a media blackout and refusing to be distracted any longer, then that is what we have to do. We are the people of the most powerful country in the entire world, a democracy, by the way. And we need to let the people in power know that we are done being used and we need to uphold international law. It is our civil obligation to do so, especially because the people in power have failed to do so. And we need to stop this genocide. And that includes doing a media blackout. And we need to blame American media for completely distracting us. It's a systemic issue and it needs to change. And I believe that's the only way through to a revolution. So thank you for listening. Justice for Britney Spears. Free Palestine, and thank you to everyone that's been part of the group project. I am so grateful for all of you, and I can't thank you enough.